Raising concerns over the impact of COVID on kids. Good evening, I'm Samantha Jones.
And I'm Corey Stark. Public health experts are warning about the surge in not only pediatric cases, but hospitalizations as well. And some children are plagued with lingering symptoms from their infections.
News 4's Emma Hogue is asking doctors how common it is, what treatment looks like. She's live at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital tonight. Emma.
Well, Sam, I'm learning from doctors here. A lot of these kids suffering from COVID long-haul symptoms were never actually in the hospital. In fact, I'm told the majority of their cases were mild. But tonight we're finding treatment for many isn't within reach, at least not yet.
I had like a cough, a fever, congestion, and then I lost my taste and smell.
In November, 18-year-old Kyle Button recovered within weeks after his mild case of COVID, but two of his symptoms stuck around for much longer than he expected.
It was kind of weird for like the first month or month and a half, and then I just kind of got used to it.
Button, an incoming senior at Francis Howell, couldn't taste or smell anything from November until last month. He was ecstatic when the 8-month stretch ended.
It kind of came back all at once. Like one day I was just able to taste all the food, and it was a little bit milder at first, but then as the time went on, I was able to taste more and more of it.
It's been a long journey trying to figure out how to get my body back to the norm.
Bo Anderson, an incoming senior at Washington University, hasn't been as lucky. 9 months after his COVID diagnosis, his sense of taste is still off. And a clinical trial he took part in back in March through WashU to get his smell back, he says barely helped.
It is very frustrating, but it could be worse. I could be going through way worse symptoms with COVID.
As students get ready to head back to school in just days, research shows many who had mild COVID infections are still suffering from long-haul COVID symptoms. Experts say 11 to 15% of kids who had COVID could have symptoms that linger.
And that's, I think, one of the things that we need to really be concerned about.
Dr. Ken Haller, a pediatrician at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, says the most common symptoms in kids are insomnia, fatigue, muscle aches, and difficulty concentrating. Many symptoms that were once chalked up to isolation and virtual learning.
This does seem to be a real thing, and I think that we pediatricians are now going to have to look a little bit deeper than we did before.
Research for long-haul cures is ongoing, but Dr. Haller recommends parents talk to their child's doctor and keep a diary of their symptoms and how often they occur.
This is something that's new for all of us, and so how we treat it in the long term is something that we're having to really spend a lot of time trying to determine.
So Dr. Haller says your child's pediatrician should be able to help you come up with a game plan to help them cope with symptoms until there are more treatment options. For now, he says if your child is old enough, their best line of defense is the vaccine, and if not, a mask. Sam?
Emma, thank you. Still a lot to learn about this virus.